Hi guys, and welcome to Dee's Media World. If you could tell by the topic, I'm talking about the new Michael Jackson movie that's coming out. And the reason I'm so melancholy right now is that I actually recorded this and it didn't capture any of it. So I already have went on my rant, completely good rant too. It was a good video, I think, but it didn't capture any of it at all. So I had to use my webcam, which I hate using because it's poorer quality. But I couldn't wait for my batteries to charge to talk about this topic. The reason I'm talking about it is that I was watching a talk show this morning. They were discussing this new Michael Jackson film Michael Jackson, Elizabeth Taylor, Marlon Brando film that's coming out sometime. And the controversy surrounding it is that there's this white guy, oh, you can't see that, this white man named Joseph Fiennes, who's going to be playing Michael Jackson in this like road trip movie where apparently those three celebrities I just mentioned after 9/11 took a road trip from New York to California. I don't know how true that is, but the film is about that, apparently. And the controversy surrounding it is that Michael Jackson is going to be played by this white actor. And what made me actually want to do this video, there's been a lot of talk about racism in Hollywood for like the past 2 months for sure. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is that there was something that I heard that sort of had what's it called when the straw that broke the camel's back, where I was just like, okay, this is just too much. What happened was I was watching the talk show, and I'm not gonna say who it was, had said they were talking about this topic, and there were actually black women up there defending and saying, black people, that maybe this guy, who's this white guy, could play Michael Jackson, and maybe just because Michael Jackson had vitiligo and he was lighter, whatever, who else would play him but a white guy? I literally was so pissed. That was the straw that broke the camel's back because that is like the dumbest thing I've heard in a minute. I've heard some dumb stuff. To say that Michael Jackson, a black icon, and this shirt has, see, the darker Michael Jackson. To say, maybe you can see me better if I turn this off. To say, nope, you can't see me better. To say that, oh, because he got vitiligo and he became lighter over the years, he should just be played by a white man is so insulting. Michael Jackson, from the moment he was born to the moment he died, was always black. He not once through that entire, I think he was 51 when he died. Through those 51 years, was Michael Jackson considered white, identified as white, even looked white. Michael Jackson's skin tone was lighter. It was very light. It was very pale when he died. But even then, it wasn't like a white person's skin. It had this sort of powdery whiteness to it that seemed unnatural. It was an unnatural white. But that's besides the point. It doesn't matter if Michael Jackson had lighter skin when he died or if he was always dark. He was never white. So to say that a white person can play him, well, because he had light skin, is crap. It's garbage. That is just stupid. That is dumb. That is beyond stupid. It is an insult to, this is what this video is really about. It is an insult to say that a black person who went through the trials, tribulations of being a black artist from the 60s until he died in 2009, went through all these problems, was loved. He rose as just a black, from just being a black little boy artist with his brothers and stuff, to actually being an icon that everybody loved. He is loved worldwide. It is an insult to say that, oh, well, just a white guy who white people already loved all over the world could just play him. That's cool. We're okay with that. I am not okay with that. That is not cool. That is not acceptable. That is ridiculous. It is ridiculous to say that this white guy should play Michael Jackson just because he somewhat has a similar skin tone. That makes no sense. We would never see the opposite with that. I talked about this before. You were never going to see, as someone made a joke on Twitter, that someone made a joke like, well, this guy's playing Michael Jackson, then Angela Bassett should play Elizabeth Taylor. That was a joke for a reason. That would never happen. They're not going to have a black artist, actor play a white person. These are real people, by the way. This isn't fictional. I talked about this with the Star Wars situation, how white people were really pissed that man was playing, I don't know what he was playing, I didn't see the movie, playing whatever, the main character in a Star Wars film. That was a fictional character and white people were pissed. We're dealing with an actual real person who was alive, who had this career, actual black person here. We're talking about an actual real as day black person. He's gone now, but he was not fiction. He was real. And we're saying, oh, it's okay. Or whoever's saying this, I'm sure most people are just like, this is bull crap. But when I heard that, I just said, as a black person to another black person, I just said, you don't know what you're talking about up there. You're on TV talking about this, and you sound like a fool. How can you defend this? This just makes no sense at all. That's just stupid. And what's funny about this topic is that a couple months ago, no, sorry, a couple weeks ago, days ago, I was just thinking about how I think it was Matt Damon who had said a while ago that, and other white people will say this on YouTube as well, would be like, oh, the best person, should get the role. Like, as if that's an option, as if that when people write scripts, as someone who writes stuff myself, and any writer will tell you, when they write a character, they know what that character is going to look like. They already have a vision. No one writes a character unless it's like some type of fill in the blank Mad Lib situation. No one has a character and just says, okay, anybody can play him. A black person, a white person, a fat, skinny, short, tall, a man, woman, whatever. I'm just writing a character with no vision whatsoever. Being a writer is about vision. It's about knowing what you want to be. The same could be said about a setting. Nobody writes a book and says, okay, this could be set, or a show, movie, whatever. This could be set in Georgia. It could be set in New York. It could be set in China. It could be set in South America somewhere. It could be set in Europe anywhere. No, there is a set vision. There's a set reason for this. Correct? So to say like, oh, well, just get the best person to play the role, as if we have the privilege as minorities, all minorities have the privilege to audition for any kind of role without any context. Like Hollywood just makes movies with no context whatsoever. When the person who wrote any of those films for the Oscars that are coming out ever, I'm positive, even if it either the casting director or the writer, somebody said, okay, this character is going to be white, this character is going to be blonde, this character might have blue eyes, she might not, or he might not, whatever. No one said, okay, this person, and the reason for this is obviously sometimes context. Like if it's a period piece set in the 1800s or something, and it's showing like what white people were doing back then in some kind of way. Same with slavery movies, whatever. You're not going to see a movie during slave times where black people are just jollying around doing whatever they want to do. There's context if you're using history. There's context for that. So to say like, oh, and just in general anyway, like how many times have us as minorities seen a film with white people in it that we wondered, wow, I wish this movie had minorities instead of this white people, white cast or whatever. And I know someone on the show I was mentioning made a reference to the Harry Potter situation that's been going on. The girl who plays Hermione, Emma Watson in real life played Hermione in the movies, and there's going to be a black actress playing Hermione in the play. I think there's a play, and people are like, oh, there was controversy about that, whatever. Like I said, that is a fictional character. Hermione could be played by a Japanese girl for all I care. Those are fictional people. They aren't real. Michael Jackson's real. So to say like it's okay for a white person who has enough privilege, this guy Joseph Fiennes, he could play anything he wants. Seriously, he can play. Black people can't even get a role about a black person. That is how low Hollywood goes. So oh my god, I was so upset when I heard that because it was so stupid. Because before I heard that, I was just like, this is so dumb, and I just let it go because I'm like, I'm not gonna see that movie. That's it. I'm not gonna see it. I don't want anyone else to see it. I'm not even going to tell people about it so they won't go see it. Hopefully they will have the sense. Now I have this video, obviously. I'm asking people not to see it, who's ever watching it. But to say that, just the context pissed me off. As a minority themselves, you would think they would know better. You would think. Sometimes I have faith in people to know better. But nobody was saying, yeah, maybe we should give a black person this black role. Even when it's about a black person, we can't get a role. Even when it's about a minority, they can't get a role. And you would never see this the other way around. There's not going to be a black woman playing Elizabeth Taylor. I don't want that. That's the thing. I don't want that. I want a black person to play Michael Jackson. I want a white person to play Elizabeth Taylor. That's what they were in real life. So why can't you get an actor to do that? It's not fiction. It's actual real people. Fiction I do not care about as much. And it's just ridiculous. It's off the wall. That's a Michael Jackson song. It's ridiculous. And Hollywood wants to make it seem like, and white people will definitely make it seem like, well, the best person got the best role, white, but they always forget their privilege. That there's never going to be an issue for white actors getting a role. They never think, like when Matt Damon went to audition, if he was the one who said that, when he went to go audition for whatever movies he's been in, if he even did audition, they might have just written the role. And sometimes Hollywood just writes a role for a certain person. Like, okay, I want this role for this person. There's not going to be an audition, whatever. Like with Golden Girls, there's the one fact from that show. It's one of my favorite sitcoms. The woman who plays Dorothy, B. Arthur, I almost forgot her name, B. Arthur, they actually wrote that character for a B. Arthur-esque person. They didn't think they were actually going to get B. Arthur in real life, but they wanted someone very similar to her in mannerisms and height, whatever. That role's technically sort of written for her, but they didn't think they would get her. That sort of thing probably happens with people like Matt Damon. He's an A-lister. Those kind of stars, they don't really have to probably audition anymore. So for him to be like, well, anybody can get a, the best person always gets the role. How would he know? He probably doesn't even have to go to auditions anymore. Seriously. Like when he goes, has anyone, I want to know, in a legit like Hollywood film, maybe in your theater class growing up, whatever, anybody could play anything. That's possible, totally. Those things aren't as important in high school. But when we're talking about like Hollywood movies and TVs and shows and stuff, how many people actually see an audition where anybody could just play this role of any height, any look, any weight, any gender, any age? Seriously. Think about that for a moment. That's what pisses me off when people say that, because they don't think about the context that they should know that when people write stories and films or whatever, they have a certain look in mind. It might not be about the race all the time, but it might be about the hair, it might be about the height, things you can't help sometimes, race, obviously, uh, accent, whatever. It could be just as simple as that. Like there's context involved all the time with films. I'm trying to think of a movie or a show. There are more so probably shows than films. Romantic comedies as a genre that is majority white, which really could have any kind of minority or any type of person in there. Those are the kind of films I would like to see people say, whatever, like anybody should get these kind of roles. Because those kind of roles are usually anybody can relate to. People act like only white people can relate to the romantic. I mean, white people are relatable to everybody, and that they don't watch like other minority romantic comedies, whatever. But any case, the I really hate that I had to record this on this camera, but I was just so upset. And my other camera just the battery just died. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's okay to have Joseph Fiennes, I think that's his name, play Michael Jackson because of reasons, or do you think that Hollywood actually does consider other races, but still thinks that white people, whoever these white people are who get these roles, are technically better? I hope not, because once again, we all should know that things are limited to us. Viola Davis said it herself. It's not lack of talent, but it's lack of opportunity, basically. Um, and what do you guys think? Do you care about Michael Jackson? I know a lot of people still love him dearly, like I do, and some people might not care at all and say whatever. I'm not seeing the film, that's for sure. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's playing Michael Jackson at this point. I'm not seeing the fact. Even if they change Joseph Fiennes and make a black actor play Michael Jackson, I'm not seeing it anyway. The fact that you insulted him and you insulted me by insulting him by saying a white person can play him, just ridiculous. I'm not seeing it either way. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think it's insane that this is going on? Are you even surprised? I'm semi-surprised. It's bold. Do you think they'll get away with it, and that this will encourage more white actors playing minorities? And will the opposite happen? Will minorities be able to play more traditionally white characters? Because that's been slowly happening, but those are usually fictional. You're not going to be seeing a black guy playing George Washington in a real movie, in like a legit film. But that's really just all I had to say. Like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing was someone is actually defending that, and there's reasons to not defend it. It's not racist to say I want a black person to play a black person. It's not. It's not. To play an actual real life black person. Like it's so silly that the white people got so upset about the Luke Skywalker thing in the last film, but for a fictional character. But I'll give them this. They were actually saying that they were upset about it. And I want more black people to be like, nope, not gonna go see this movie. I want nobody to go see this movie. Like, I hope even white people get that they shouldn't even see that movie, because that just makes no sense whatsoever. But I'm gonna be done ranting about this. Uh, ugh, it's just so disgusting. It's so stupid. It's just stupid. It's just so dumb to even think for a moment that this is okay. I just couldn't believe the stupidity. It's not cool, and I hope more people are saying that too as well. I mean, I know I'm talking about like two or three people on TV who said this. I'm sure there are plenty of blog posts that are saying it's racist and stupid and whatever, and that's an insult to Michael Jackson, his legacy, his family, whatever. And they would be right. It just that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I just couldn't believe that. So I'm just gonna move on. I appreciate you guys watching my channel. Tell me what your thoughts are about this Michael Jackson movie situation. Are you gonna see the film, and why do you think that Hollywood just continues to try us? Do they think we're just gonna sit and do nothing? I don't know, but continues to try us on a regular basis. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.